Born in Beijing in 1957, Ai Weiwei entered the world with the weight of politics already bearing down on his shoulders. His father, the celebrated poet I Ching, had been denounced as a rightist during Mao's purges and sent into internal exile with his family. Ai Weiwei spent much of his early childhood in the desolate Xinjiang region, a frontier land of forced labor camps, mud brick houses, and biting cold, a place where suffering was routine and dignity a distant luxury. Yet it was here, surrounded by silence and sand, that Ai Weiwei absorbed his first taste of resistance. He saw his father, once a voice of revolutionary hope, reduced to cleaning public toilets. But he also saw something else, a quiet defiance, a refusal to break. His father never begged, never surrendered. That lesson would burn into Weiwei's marrow. Dignity is not granted by power. It is maintained in spite of it. Returning to Beijing after Mao's death, Ai Weiwei enrolled in the Beijing Film Academy, mingling with avant-garde artists and subversive thinkers who whispered rebellion through brushstrokes and abstract form. He left for the United States in 1981 and found himself in the raw, unfiltered creativity of 1980s New York. There, amid punk rockers and political outcasts, Weiwei soaked in the boldness of Duchamp, Warhol, and above all, the freedom of thought America promised. He bought a camera. He wandered the streets. He observed everything. But it wasn't just art he absorbed. It was the spirit of protest. From the ghetto walls of the Lower East Side to the charged tension of AIDS activism and police brutality protests, Weiwei saw that dissent could be more than whispers. It could be public, loud, unapologetic. It could be weaponized as culture. When Ai Weiwei returned to China in the 1990s, it was not as a quiet man eager to please the party. It was as a cultural insurgent. In a nation where obedience is gospel and conformity is survival, Ai Weiwei launched a war of ideas. He mocked power, tore down symbols, and turned the tools of propaganda against the architects of repression. His art installations were not mere displays. They were assaults. His 1995 triptych of photographs, where he dropped a 2,000-year-old Han Dynasty urn, was not an act of vandalism, but a declaration. If tradition shields tyranny, it deserves to shatter. But Ai Weiwei was no mere provocateur. He married form and function with fearless moral purpose. When the Sichuan earthquake struck in 2008 and thousands of schoolchildren perished, many due to shoddy tofu-dreg construction covered up by local authorities, Weiwei didn't mourn in silence. He launched an investigation. Name by name, he counted the dead, exposing the rot within the system that built their tombs. The state warned him. He refused to be silent. He posted names online. He filmed his investigations. He openly accused the Chinese Communist Party of lying, of killing through negligence and cowardice. In a culture steeped in silence, Weiwei roared. For this, he paid the price. He was beaten by police. His studio was demolished. He was placed under constant surveillance, and in 2011, they came for him. For 81 days, Ai Weiwei vanished, held in an undisclosed location, interrogated by masked men under harsh lights, watched every moment by guards who never blinked. No charges, no lawyer, no explanation. His only weapon, silence. His only armor, conviction. He emerged thinner, older, but unbroken. In typical Weiwei fashion, he turned his imprisonment into art. The Installation D recreated his detention cell, a cage surrounded by faceless guards, a man eating, sleeping, defecating under their gaze. It was not just a memorial of what he endured. It was a challenge. Look, understand. This is the price of truth in a world ruled by fear. To the regime, Ai Weiwei had become a contagion. To the people, a legend. His work extended beyond China. Ai Weiwei documented the plight of Syrian refugees. He marched with exiles and dissidents. He created sculptures from life vests that had washed ashore, testaments to the human cost of borders, of bureaucracy, of indifference. He refused to retreat into comfort or fame. Art, for Weiwei, was not a career. It was a battlefield. Every installation a missile. Every exhibition a siege. The Spartan imagery comes easily. Ai Weiwei did not wear armor, but he had discipline. He did not raise a sword, but he attacked with truth. He stood alone, often surrounded by enemies, bureaucrats, censors, cowards in clean suits, yet he held his line. He endured exile, surveillance, imprisonment, silencing, but his spirit never fractured. He lived by principle. He chose risk over ease. Like a warrior facing a wall of spears, he walked forward, eyes unflinching. And he keeps walking. Weiwei's genius is not simply in what he creates, but what he reveals. He reminds us that courage is not about brute strength, it is about clarity. It is knowing what you believe and never compromising, even when the world demands submission. It is speaking when silence is safe. It is enduring suffering without martyrdom. It is creating meaning out of pain. He once said, "A hero is someone who understands the responsibility that comes with his freedom." In that sense, Ai Weiwei is more than a hero. He is a modern-day Spartan. Not because he carries a shield, but because he refuses to kneel. Order the Spartan Mindset today and embark on your journey toward becoming the leader your world needs. Let your struggles forge you into a warrior of character and resolve. The Spartan Mindset provides a comprehensive and actionable guide to personal development and resilience. Available now for just $19.99. Purchase your copy from the links in the description box below and on this channel's homepage. Because your future begins with the right mindset. The Spartan Mindset